Right, hey guys, how's it going? Gonna do a little card tonight. Thanks for popping by. I'm just gonna see if I'm up on, there we go. I am. All right. So, good Sunday afternoon. I'm moving things around a little bit tonight. I hope it works out a little bit better with the lighting and stuff. So, hi, I'm Tara with Tara Beth Stamps, and I'm gonna do a card featuring some products from the new January to June mini catalog that goes live on Tuesday. If you need a copy of this, let me know. I'd be more than happy to get you one in the mail or deliver one to you. There's some awesome stuff. Usually I can find some things that I don't love, but this one, they knocked it out of the park. So here's today's card. This is using the Sunshine and Rainbow of Happiness bundle. And so there we go. There's the stamp set along with the coordinating dies. And so these dies are super fun. And oh, dies. All right. So these are great dies. I love the set. You've got the big rainbow, you've got the half rainbow, and it coordinates really well with the cloud punch that's available as well. This is going to be in the June mini catalog, along with some freebies that you can get through Celebration. So remember that Celebration is coming up, so that's a free item from the Celebration catalog with every $50 to $100 that you spend. So today I'm going to use the Simply Marble Designer Series paper. So this is a freebie for $50, and look at these colors. They are fantastic. So this is a great bundle to have on hot file, as well as the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper. So here's that paper set, and we're going to use tons of that. And these colors are great. And that's going to be free, available on Tuesday with that $50 purchase as well. Hey Amy, hey Mary, thanks for popping by. So this is what they call an explosion card. So it's tied down here at the bottom. I'm going to undo it. And you've got this greeting that pops out at you. So let's get started. All right, I'm going to get these out of the way. All right, I'm starting out with a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock. This is the 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, so your normal card base folded intent fashion. So we'll just burnish that down. And then we are going to start out with the gray paper from the Simply Marvelous die cut. And I die cut it with the Brilliant Rainbow dies. And we're going to do a little bit of paper piecing. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab some liquid adhesive, which I don't know what I did with. There it is. Like I said, I moved everything around like 5 minutes before we started, so not exactly the best way to start tonight. So just a little bit of liquid adhesive right through here. And with that liquid adhesive, less is more. And I'm going to flip that over and adhere it. And there's going to be some glue spots that you see, and that's okay because we're going to do some paper piecing on most of it. Not to mention that glue dries clear. So I've got a couple die cuts here. I did a Granny Apple Green that I'm going to adhere right here in the middle. I've got some pumpkin pie that we're gonna, I put the adhesive on the wrong side. Oops. We'll just smear that off. I can take a little eraser and pull that adhesive off after it's good and dry. Put that on there. Make sure I get the right one on the blue side. right. Now in your Sunshine and Rainbows cardstock, you're going to see this beautiful page of clouds, which is really pretty by itself, but even better with the cloud punch. And so, even though part of that cloud's gone, I'm going to go ahead and punch it because I don't want any of that paper to go to waste. There, line it up, punch. Give that a little snip, and we'll go for this one up here. So I love when Stampin' Up! Has dies and punches that coordinate along with their product. Makes it super easy to use. Yeah, I love this paper, Mary. Me too. All right, so I'm going to take a couple of these and put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of them. And we're at the end of this one, so I'm going to clip them out here because once again, I'm not letting anything go to waste. There we go. There we go. All right, I'm going to put my clouds here. There we go. There's another one. Better take the back off if I want that to work. And then another one right up here. All right, so there's the front of your card essentially. So now let's get to the fun part. On the inside, I have two pieces of pumpkin pie cardstock and some coordinating cardstock that would go with it. So this is going to be a pretty heavy card because there's lots and lots of layers. So then by the time you add the explosion mechanism in there, it's super heavy. So this is one of those that you will want that extra weighted stamp or deliver it personally. All right. There we go. Adhere this cardstock, line it up with that liquid adhesive so you got a little bit of wiggle room. This one's going to be a scotch different from the last one because I've used so much of this paper already. It's my favorite. Then line this one up. And then we're going to go ahead and create the mechanism first. So I am going to this is all set up to be perfectly handy with my first setup here. So here's my Simply Score tool. I'm going to score it 3. And be super careful because this DSP is thinner than cardstock. It will tear if you're not careful. So just a real light score. All right. So scored it 3 and then I turned it on the side and did scored it 3. I'm going to fold it and burnish it. Then I'm going to fold it again and burnish it. Then comes the tricky part. We are going to fold it in half on the diagonal. All right. Then we're going to burnish this down. Okay, so what this does is this creates all of these nice folds. And you are going to fold the end over end here, kind of meet it, fold it, and create a square. Burnish it very well on all sides. I'm going to flip it and do it the same way because we want a really good crease there. And there is your pop-up. So we are going to take, next we're going to do a little Stampin' and get that stuff out of the way. So remember that this is being adhered diagonally, so it's not just a straight square. So we're going to need to open the other card because I want to make sure I stamp it correctly here. All right, so we have a piece, or I have the sentiment stamp that we're going to stamp with Magenta Madness. Get up, line it up, and stamp. Okay. Next, we're gonna go, is it that? Yep. We're gonna use a little bit of Bumblebee for one of the smaller rainbow edges to go underneath. We're gonna line that up and stamp. All right. Set that one aside. Shut the ink so I don't get it everywhere. We'll go with a little bit of, hey Karen, I just saw that you're here. Thanks for joining me. Hey Rosie, thanks for coming. All right, let's see here. I should have one more block, 2 more blocks. There they are. For the inside, we'll do that blue. So that's the Misty Moonlight. Line that up. There we go. Okay, so there's the first one. Go ahead and get that out of the way. And then the next one is going to be, so in order to make sure that I get it right, I'm going to do the greeny apple green first. And ink that up. Oop, I got a little ink on it. Stamp that there. We'll add the sentiment next in Misty Moonlight. Okay. And then we'll finish it off with another pumpkin pie. So this is really all the stamping that we're going to, all the stamping that we're going to do. All right, set all these aside, get them out of the way so I don't get ink all over the place. Hi Jessica, welcome, thanks for coming by. So we're going to do a little adhering here. We're going to put the sentiments on the inside here. I'm going to line that up and give it just a little bit of that edge on there. Here we go. Do the bottom one, and we're ready to assemble the card. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is take some glue dots and just add them with my take your pick tool, and just kind of look for the center of the card. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Stick a couple of glue dots down for a ribbon. And there we go. Sorry. And here's my ribbon. So I'm using the crinkle seam binding ribbon that's in the annual catalog. I'm going to fold this ribbon in half and just kind of eyeball it and then throw it down on my glue dots. There we go. Okay, so now the ribbon is kind of where it needs to be, and it's not perfect by any means. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it so it's a little straighter. Now I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do the top and the bottom. So with the suns, I feel like these need to go towards the top just because, you know, sun up at the top makes sense to me. All right, will adhere that, making sure that you have as even as possible on the edges. We're going to take that liquid adhesive and add the bottom layer to the bottom of the card. Once again, creating some nice edges there. And next is the fun part. So here's my explosion card. I want to make sure that I have it folded and set up directly the way I want the card to read. So there we go. So I'm going to take a liquid adhesive and adhere quite a bit of it. And then I'm going to set that card right there at the center. There we go. And hold it tight. Now last night when I was doing this, I went ahead and set a stamp pad just on top of it for a few minutes, just to make sure that it's going to stay. Then I closed it. And now we're going to adhere the top to it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and set this here for just a second while I'm getting my front panel ready. All right, got my liquid adhesive. Make sure that I'm keeping it to the, make sure I adhere this to the front of the card versus the back of the card, because once it's all there, that's it. All right, so there you have your explosion card. You can take this ribbon and then tie your bow. Create that closure so that it'll actually stay shut when you're mailing it, or, you know, when you're presenting it to someone. So pull that little loose there. Okay. So I'm going to trim off a little bit of these tails here so there's not so much ribbon there. I'm actually going to use my fabric shears on that. There we go. Okay, and then last but not least, for the front of the card, I found the silver and clear epoxy essentials in the annual catalog, and I'll be darned if these don't look like raindrops to me. So I just added a couple of them on the front of the card. All right, so there's your front of your card. Now, last but not least, we can't ever present that envelope plain, so I'm going to go ahead and add just some coordinating DSP to the card front, or the flap of my card or envelope. Here we go. And now cut the edges off. So don't forget, Celebration and the mini catalog go live on Tuesday. Get your orders in early so you can be one of the first ones shipped. If you don't need a catalog, definitely reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to share that with you. And thanks so much for popping by. Have a great night, guys.